Alright, so we're out here tuning on Brandon's vehicle. I said it was MegaSquirt. It's actually MicroSquirt. So, what I did was I went in here and I shut off everything that, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. But I went in here and I shut off everything that would control the idle. So I went to idle control and made sure I turned this off. So I don't think we're going to be able to use that anyway. I'm not even sure if it's hooked up. It's the first time I've ever messed with this, guys, but I just watched some videos on it. And then I went into here. I went into EGO control. It does have a wideband hook to it. And I set the controller authorization to 0. So it didn't try to correct the fuel with the wideband. And then we went into here, basic load, engine, 5.3, speed density, put all that in it. It's 80-pound injectors, which is 875 cc, 5300. But I mean, it started, but it idled real low, and it was flooding out. And no matter what I did in the fueling tables, it wouldn't correct it. So I guess you have to open up the throttle body some. So we're going to open up the throttle body about 4%, and then we're going to try again, which we'll have to recalibrate the throttle position sensor. But I hope y'all can see that. There's so much glare from the phone and I don't know. I don't have screen share. This ain't my laptop. I do have screen share on mine. I've yet to use it, but maybe one day we will. But yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect this up, and there's the throttle position sensor somewhere right there. Yeah. So I'm gonna have him turn that screw and put that at about 4% while I watch it, and then we'll recalibrate it. All right. So the little screw that opens up the throttle blade is really wore, and it don't want to go much further. It's this screw, by the way. And then look, they've even, to get it to idle before, they bent that bracket down. So we're going to take it out of there, and we're going to get a long bolt, a long threaded bolt that'll go in there. The bolts are a lot easier. I hate these Torx heads, but anyway. We started it up and it idled a lot better, but it was still too fat. And I took some fuel out of the tables and it didn't change anything. So that means it wants more air at idle. So we've got to open that up more, and that's not going to go up in there any further. So yeah, take that out. Put a longer bolt in it. Throttle body gasket's rough. Yeah, we're going to have to change that too while we're in here. But once we get that, we will tune on it some more. But pretty much what I went through, I hope y'all can see the screen. I don't have screen sharing on that computer. I still need to do what I did to initially get mine tuned started. I've got notes on all that, and I am going to go over that. But once we get that screw in there and we open up the throttle blades a little bit more, we're going to tune on it some more. All right, so after we got it off, Brandon was able to get a better bite at it. It's hard to get in there at that thing, and he screwed it up quite a bit. So we're going to slap it back on there and see if it don't idle better. Okay, now we're going to start it. See if it idles too high. If it idles too high, we'll have to see what happens. What's the AFR gauge? Yeah, but look, we got a better reading on the AFR gauge. Well, it was at 13 something. But now I can probably take the fuel out of it because it is idling too high. Alright. Deal. were idling at about 1400 there, which sent us into different cells, which told me that those cells were too fat too. So I went ahead and lowered those, but we're gonna have to drop that throttle blade down a little bit more because we want it to idle around 900, 900, somewhere in there. So we're going to try to find that, and then once we do that, then we'll adjust the AFR. This is batch fire, so batch fire likes to run a little richer, so we'll probably put it around 14.2 at idle. And then cruise, we'll probably put around 13.2, 13.5, and then wide open throttle, not in boost, we'll probably put around 12.5, and then when it starts getting into boost, we'll go into 11.5. But we got to get this idle down and a good AFR on that first, just by mixing with that screw and the VE tables in here, which I turned that off because it's about to run dead. So, did you get it screwed down?
Yeah, I turned it back twice.
All right.
So where's that?
We're gonna check it again. Oh, the laptop went dead on it, so he's gonna get her charged up, and we're gonna work on it a little bit next time. All right, Brendan was supposed to come over and tune on his today. He has to come over yesterday, but I had some stuff I had to do. He didn't come over, so I took this one out, and I've got her dialed in. It's about as good as I'm gonna get her dialed in on the street. A cop passed me once. They didn't even taking less than, I didn't say that out loud. But yeah, it's dialed in. I got the wideband hooked up to the EGR, and then I log it through the computer, and then I set it to where I know what manifold absolute pressure, KPA, and RPM. It shows me what their fuel ratio is. And then I got my gauge going for this, so now I know what the stowage should be while I'm tuning. And yeah, so them ethanol sensor, these ethanol sensors, they read way better than that little cup thing that you pour water in, because that said that this E85 was 85%. It's not 85%, it's 75%. This thing's been calibrated and everything, so yeah, or maybe I just didn't do it right with the bottle. It's completely possible. But yeah, starts up good. Revs good. Revs real good. We're gonna go ahead and put her back in the yard, and then maybe we'll dial in the wide open throttle a little bit at the track this weekend, and maybe do a nitrous pass. Who knows? So just messing with the VE tables and the throttle body screw, we were able to get this thing to idle pretty good. It still needs a little bit of work, but it's still reading fatter than I think it should. And these wideband sensors, they in the past they've failed a lot on me, so I'm not sure if his sensor is reading correctly, so we're going to put my sensor on it because I know it's reading correctly right now, and tune on it a little bit more.